We have today with us Sonia Jangda. Sonia Jangda is one of those very few people that I have met who is working in the field of construction management. She's actually done this amazing course. It was a 4-year engineering course in construction management. That's a field that we see very few women in. So Sonia, I'm so happy that you said yes, because I'm sure that this podcast is going to be really exciting and educating to so many perhaps students and people who are looking for a career in construction management. Tell us a little more about this course. What have you done? What did you learn in this? And anything that you think will be helpful for the audience who's listening to us in today.
Hi, Willie. So I have done engineering and construction technology and management. This was a new course when I studied. This is a combination of construction, that is civil engineering, plus the management side of it. Most of the time, civil engineers don't have the idea of how things are managed on the field and how things take place, and due to which a lot of mess-up happens. So this is a course that bridges that gap. And I have done my post graduation in same from NICMAR, Advanced Construction Management. So yeah, this is about the course.
So when you say construction management, you mean the technical, the civil side of things, or what exactly do you mean by construction management?
So this is the side both technology as well as management. So today we need to bridge that gap between technology and management and ensure that everything is in line. So we manage the technology and also look at the finance side, the labor part, which is the major side of civil industry, understanding how the rules and regulations in line with the government and the formations of the rules that are there.
Wow, that sounds like a very complex job, right? I mean, uh, I'm sure when you're looking at construction, when you're looking at development, there's so much planning that needs to go. There's so many agencies that are probably involved. I also think the rules and regulations are different across different states, right? So kind of understanding all these rules, regulations, making sure that the building that is built is legal and is proper and is done at the perhaps on time. I think these are all things that are so critical. So, are there a lot of construction management courses available across India for students, or is this like a new course? How did you find out about this course? And I think what we also want to know is like how did you choose this course, or rather, why did you choose this course?
The first reason that I wanted to do engineering was everybody in my family is from commerce background, and most of them are chartered accountants. So I wanted to be do something different, be an engineer. And when I was looking at the courses after the entrance exam, I came across this course, construction technology and management, and I was really fascinated by it. And I took it up. Eventually, in between, while doing the course, we had an option that we could switch the course if we didn't like it after a year of engineering. But actually, I liked it so much, and I did my post graduation also in same. And yes, there are many more courses that are coming up like this. You have PMP certification course, and you also have small courses, a year course where you can do just planning and scheduling or understand the estimation, quantity surveying, and other parts of construction, which is broken down into small courses or small certification courses. So you can choose your field and master in that.
Oh, that's amazing. And then what did you do after that? I remember you said that you did your advanced construction management, and then what happened next? What did your career look like?
And then I worked with this company called KEF, which is now overtaken by one of the US company called Katera. And they are into precast construction. So all factory manufactured, saves time, cost, and huge buildings can be done in no time. And the best
Wow.
example, I was a part of the team which did Indira Gandhi canteens, if you have seen through Karnataka. So this was made in 3 days. Each canteen was built in 3 days.
So, otherwise, what would the timeline be for building something that big?
It would be at least a month and a half to 2 months.
Wow. And you bring that down to 3 days without any loss of structural integrity or any loss of building life or anything like that?
Yes. In fact, the building life is much more better and much more durable.
That's amazing, amazing. So now, what do you do now? What are the I heard that you've joined this amazing new super fancy company, and what is that company? And tell us more about Alt. I think if you're now with Alt.
Yeah, now I am associated with Alt. I work as transaction manager. So any deals that happen, I take care of the transaction part of the deals that happen, and they are into fractional investments and trying to tokenize them, which is going to be accessible to everybody, and everybody can now invest in real estate.
And when you say everybody, right? Everybody can now invest in real estate. Why are we so? Why do we even use that word everybody? Do you think real estate had any somebody sort of approach? Were there certain kinds of people who would only work in real estate, or who would buy real estate, or who would even think of buying real estate? Is there anything like that you think?
There is, if you think about real estate as an investment perspective, people who have huge money or who inherit huge money or are really doing well for themselves and can afford to buy real estate would do that. Otherwise, you don't see every common man telling that, oh, I bought real estate today, because it is just their dream. Buying home is a dream. And government has tried to come up with a lot of things of affordable housing just to make sure that people have good living. But with this real estate, when I say that everybody can buy, we are trying to break huge real estate pieces into small segments and then tokenize them again into smaller tokens where everybody can invest into it and everybody can own real estate or see real estate in terms of investment perspective, which people don't.
So you're actually saying like a lot of people buy real estate mostly to live in it, or maybe rent it out to one person or something like that, right? They're not
Yeah.
looking at it. Do you think they compare it with other investment opportunities, like maybe gold or equity markets or FDs?
Yes, they do that, but the easiest options are FDs, gold, and now a little bit of mutual funds that people are interested in and trying to invest in that. So people generally rule out the real estate option. Also, it has a lot of hassle when you invest in real estate. You will have to get the registration done, deal with the
Yeah.
brokers, go on the other side, ensure that there are no liabilities, the due diligence is done properly. You never know, you buy a property today and you come to know that that didn't even belong to the person you bought it from. So it involves a lot of hassle into it. So as an alt, when a company is involved into it and when they bring out a property to you that you can invest into it, they are ensuring that you save your money or you invest your money in the right form and ensuring that there are no hassles, there are no problems. So this is one largest
So
part.
this is very critical what you're saying, because if real estate is difficult to buy because it takes a lot of money to buy, that means a person in his, let's say, 20, 30, maybe 50-year professional lifespan probably buys real estate maybe once, twice, or maybe thrice, right? Let's say an average Indian household. Which means he doesn't have enough experience also buying real estate, right?
Yes.
Maybe he must have done 3 registrations or 2 registrations in his life. So it's so difficult to learn the skills of doing the legal due diligence, or doing the negotiation, or understanding what is simple things like carpet area versus saleable area, and so many things. Just understanding all that. So chances are this person is going to get a bad deal, right? And he's probably even depending on his neighborhood broker. And I think most of these deals are broker driven and broker led, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I get to see how important it is for everyone to have access to high quality, maybe due diligence skill sets, or high quality. If someone could just curate these assets and give it to them, then it's like a tension-free kind of way to handle it. One thing you told me in this conversation that's triggered a thought is this inheritance. Like a lot of property comes through inheritance, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily bought.
It's not bought, you inherit it, and people who have lot of properties, land, they inherit it and they start their own developing company or a construction company, or they bring out some contractors to take over it.
So when you say inheritance, then do you see a certain part of the society by default being more active in the real estate space than another part of the society?
Yeah, so as Indians, or when you talk about something as inheritance that comes from your ancestors, so until longer time, this inheritance was given to the men or the boys of the house, and they started this developing or construction, or they started ruling the real estate industry. Apart from that, also, yeah, few men have done it on their own, not just inheritance. So we see less women in the industries, but given in a decade's time or 2 decades, a lot of women have stood up for themselves. They have started taking charge for the real estate, and they take active participation in being involved in it.
It's a very important perspective because that just opens up so many social dynamics as well, right? So by default, inheritance, went to the male child, and then he then got this estate and this land, and now he has to till the soil. And as we move through the agrarian economy to the industrial economy, and as we are here today in the 21st century, I think now they're all unlocking value, and then they're thinking of getting into construction, and typically very difficult sort of businesses, very complex businesses. You have to manage the local, community head, or you have to manage the local planning divisions, and dealing with all these contractors and a bunch of laborers, and so much work. I think they probably women probably took a conscious call not to be too involved in it. But I'm actually now really happy to know that what the work that you're doing at Alt is also to try and make it more inclusive. No, you're trying to make real estate more inclusive, so that everybody, man, woman, or child, can kind of enter this space and enjoy the benefits of real estate. Tell us more about how, let's say, as a lady yourself, like, how do you think a lot of women look at real estate as an investment? What do they think about? What are their considerations? What problems do you think they would want taken care of? Is there any thoughts around those areas?
Yeah. So I think women are very conservative in terms of investment. They are okay to have cash as their keep ready cash, or invest in FDs or gold, because they always think, if you need money tomorrow, if I need money today, will I be able to liquidate my cash if I have diversified investment? And if you think in terms of real estate, like we already spoke, it's not easy. The transaction is not easy. You have to deal with the broker, you have to go to the registration office, understand how these things work. It depends on how the other person, what kind of deal do you get, how do they negotiate with you. So women restrict themselves, being conservative, so they do not take up real estate as an investment option. But now, when we give them this option of tokenization, where they can sit at home,
Wow.
invest in real estate just by opening an account, it's as easy as how you invest in mutual funds or buy any shares. So, this will help them to learn.
Mainstream, right?
Yeah, this is a
You'll be
mainstream.
mainstreaming so many women.
Yeah.
Wow. I think that was key insight for me, at least, because when you said that the fundamental need or the fundamental purpose that an investment must give or must live to for a woman, or for women, is liquidity and immediacy, right? The urgency of cash. Because I still remember my own parents, my dad and my mom. Every time my dad ran out of money, somehow my mom would give money immediately and save the day. And I would be like, how is that happening? So I think security, you know
Yes.
that security, that immediacy, that ability to cash out, right, or cash in. And and the other beautiful aspect of what you said is she's always there to rescue. She's working in the capacity of a rescuer, right? Someone who's there. And that's why they probably didn't look at real estate, because A, they have to get out of the house, B, they have to deal with all these things, and C, there is no immediacy in real estate, because it's easy to buy but it's not easy to sell, right? And hence it doesn't solve the purpose. And with alt, what you're doing is you're able to now bring this high quality real estate investment asset, for them to sit at home. And even in that, walk me through this. Is it like a 5, 10, 15, 20 minute job for someone to, for let's say a lady sitting at home, to invest and really own real estate through alt? And what kind of real estate are we talking about through alt? And once she owns it, like, what could she do with it? Like, what's the benefit that she's going to get out of that?
Yeah, this is like almost like a 10-15 minutes thing. You will There will be listed a lot of properties which tokens will be available. It could be commercial, residential, industrial, warehouse, hotels, schools, hospitals. So you can choose the kind of investment you want to do, and you think which property might have better yield. So you can choose the property you want, and you can invest minimum of say 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, depending on the property size that is broken down into.
So you can invest not just in
One, you can choose
residential.
multiple. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it's not just residential, right? So you mentioned warehouse, schools, hospitals, hotels.
Yes.
So now she can create like a bouquet of assets,
Yes.
like a diversified portfolio,
Yes.
and with not like crores of rupees, and without even getting out of the home.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. I think this is really powerful. And I also think what you're doing is, you're going to be creating a more financially independent India in that sense, right? And I also think what might happen out of this is, people would get into real estate faster or sooner than they were otherwise destined to get into real estate. Because I was talking to another gentleman, and he was saying the final destination for every dollar, is usually real estate. Because you go out and you buy, let's say you buy jeans from a factory, and from a shop, and that guy's invested his money, given it to the factory guy's invested his money, and finally all these profits eventually get into land and hard assets somewhere. So I think this is like delaying and crashing that network, right? You're reducing the delay, you're crashing the network, you're getting more and more people to be able to benefit from that. What happens after he or she purchases the property? Does how does this add more? Let's say, does it improve the quality of life, or does it put more money in their pocket? I mean, what's the takeaway apart from just owning the property?
Yeah, so you own the tokens in this case. So you can trade them. If you feel that tomorrow there is another tokens that has come, another properties listed in the token, you can always trade them for better exchange. And obviously you will get very good returns in this, and this will otherwise impact your way of living and so on and so forth.
So
So
this
it's a
is
continuous cycle.
it's a and not just trading, right? Because I'm sure there's some sort of rental income that you're also getting because of
Yes,
this.
because of the property. So if example it's a commercial property and it's leased out, so the lease what the as a part of owner you will get the part of lease in your account to whatever percentage you
So
hold
that's like
the
a second income.
second income.
And you can
Yeah.
have a third income and a fourth income, and you can have an income stream coming from a hotel, or income stream coming from a school,
School.
or
Yeah.
from some other, from a warehouse. This is just incredible. Have you seen anything else like this?
There are mutual funds which has diversified investments, and the best example for something comparable Yeah.
would be like a REIT or something.
REITs.
Yeah, REITs. But I think that they're fairly limited again, right? Because in terms of alternate assets, like if I really want to build like a really beautifully diversified portfolio, then I think from an alternate assets perspective, I think the space that you are in and the work that you're doing is, I think, going to be phenomenal in terms of creating um, like this huge new set of people who are going to get into real estate, right? I think that customer avatar is going to change. I think a lot of young people. You think a lot of young people can get into this?
Yes, definitely. So it's always like you need to earn so much money to own real estate. You need to be at that level. You need to either take up loans and other things. But now it will be accessible to the younger generation also. So even with the limited funds, you can invest in real estate.
That's amazing. So once you heard about this particular platform and this opportunity, which was not there before, how do you think your own personal investment strategy is going to change? Like if you want to share with me over the next 5 years or 7 years, how do you plan to invest your own wealth, or how are you going to build your own wealth in a real estate perspective? Do you have any ideas on that?
So, like I told, it's always like I need to earn so much, save so much, and then I should be
Then
able
take a
to
loan.
take it further. So, I always had in mind that I need to own a house or I need to invest in real estate. And I would keep telling to everybody, but I never, I was not able to make so much saving so that I buy something on my own. But definitely with this thing coming up where I can do fractional investments, I can take up a smallest of the property and build on it and get returns from it and build more on it, and I can actually buy a real estate now.
Wow. So, what would you like to, let's say, what message would you like to give somebody who's, let's say, 23, 23, 24, just about entering the workforce, got a good, stable job right now, and is really kind of planning the rest of their life, 10, 20, 30 years ahead. And let's say she's a woman, and you'd want to give some advice to her. What would that be in terms of financial planning and wealth creation and things like that?
Uh, my advice would be like invest in assets so that they give you returns continuously. After some point in life, you should be making so much from your investments that your income or your earnings are untouched.
This reminds me of fire. This whole idea of fire, which says financially independent, retire early. So someone you actually feel like these, investing in this way, people could actually, like young people today, 23, 24, could actually probably become completely financially independent, don't have to depend upon their primary source of income, live completely off their, alternate rent generating investments, maybe by the age of 35, 40, right?
Yeah, definitely. Plus, there
Wow.
are so many other expenses which you come across. So, probably, if not the larger part, you can meet those small expenses with this investment or interest that you get from your
That's
investments.
amazing. That's amazing. Because I think what COVID taught us all in a very hard sort of smack in the face sort of approach was, people with multiple sources of income were able to sail through that, more comfortably than people who were dependent on one source of income, and that source of income was like shaken or stopped or deferred, right? And that really created a big. I think this is just a lesson for all of us, that whatever we do, whether it's real estate or investment, we got to be evaluating that by how much extra income it puts into our pocket. Like it has to be an income generating investment.
Asset investment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every month, rather than something which you have to depend upon for maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years later. You're going to sell it, and then you're going to get so much of money. So stop living in those dreams,
Correct.
and then start working towards. Amazing. It is so good talking to you today, and you've really, I think, shed a lot of light on how a lot of women especially can, in a very quick, easy and safe way, start investing in real estate, and their portfolio could look like as if it was a super designed, well curated, snazzy investor sort of portfolio. So thank you so much for coming in and talking to us and sharing all these amazing ideas today.
Thank you, Willie.